Thank you for joining us. This is Mature Living, a show that tells you all about where you can go, where you can have fun. And of course, I'm Mary Yanez, director of the Senior Adult Program, and that's the serious part of it. But we've invited Gina Hernandez from the Chamizal National Memorial, and she's here to invite us to a festival. And there are so many things that are going to be going on at that event that we thought we'd bring her on and tell us all about it, because it's for families, for children, for all ages. So you'll be sure and go. Let's talk about it now.
Well, thank you, Mary. This is always such a treat for us. And we do have a lot going on at Chamizal National Memorial. As you can see, we have just a reminder of some of our regular events. The Chamizal Asks, What Do You Think? Every third Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m., where we invite the public in to share some sort of experience with us and then talk to us about it and talk to the public about it. So this is everyone's chance to express themselves and tell us what they think.
That's it.
And we have our Junior Ranger program, which is also every third Saturday of the month. And that's for kids 5 to 11 years old and their siblings, younger and older, and families. So grandparents, parents, come along and spend an hour with the Rangers from 11 a.m. to noon. Learning some really neat things about the National Park Service and Chamizal National Memorial, and they get to be Junior Rangers.
It's educational, and you have that nice little gift shop there too. They can pick up little things, caps and things like that.
Sure, they can find fun things, and they get to make little special buttons to take home with them as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Very good. And now the big thing is the Chamizal Cultural Festival that happens every year, and this time it's going to be 3 days. Tell me about those. I guess it starts on Friday, October 26th.
Yes, so Friday, October 26th is a special day. We call it our Education Day. We invite middle school classrooms from around the area. They do need to sign up for it, so they can call the park at 915-532-7273 or visit our website, and we'll get you that URL.
So they need to register so that you can make plans.
Yes, they do need to register because it's limited capacity.
Yes.
But it will be a lot of fun. We're going to have a performance of El Chamizal, Wild River Disputed Land. So it's a special performance that was created just for the memorial. It tells the history of the Chamizal story through drama and dance and music, and it's really special.
How long is that particular program?
That performance is just under an hour, I believe, and so that will be part of what the middle school groups do that day.
Local actors?
They are.
Oh,
they are
wonderful.
local actors.
Wonderful.
And after watching the performance, the students will get to see cultural demonstrations. Some of the same ones that we will have the next day for the public, but it will be special just for the middle schoolers.
Oh, wow. So that's Friday, but on Saturday you start at 1:30 for the main festival, right, at the Chamizal on the grounds and inside the actual memorial building. And that's going to be on Saturday, October 27th. What are you going to be having then?
So we will have all kinds of cultural demonstrations. It focuses on culture and history of Chamizal National Memorial, because through understanding different cultures, we get to appreciate them and be better friends with people of different cultures. And that's what the memorial is all about.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So we want to focus on these cultural events, which includes music and dancing and demonstrations and learning new things about different cultures. We will be partnering with tribal groups of the area. They'll have their dances, native storytelling. We'll have a sculptor and some different art demonstrations.
Wonderful. Gosh, that sounds... Cultural events, art events are so important for the community, for children, for us to learn about ourselves even, and about other cultures. And that understanding between Mexico and the United States and that's why you exist.
Absolutely.
That agreement.
Absolutely. And this, culture, it's all about how we express ourselves as people. And so the more we get to know about someone else's culture, the more we can relate to them and appreciate them.
And I like the fact that you're going to highlight the cowboys from the U.S. and the charros from Mexico.
Those have been highlights of the cultural festival the last couple of years. We have Omar Castro with his charro culture, and they always bring so many really neat all the traditional clothing and have really amazing presentations.
Sounds exciting.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do then for the Grand Tour of El Paso?
That
border history.
Yes, that is something we're really excited about. It's in partnership with Celebrate Our Mountains, and we'll give you their web address as well so that
Okay.
people can go there. They have a lot of different things going on around El Paso, and so kind of they wanted to tag on with the Chamizal Cultural Festival, and it's a really great experience there. It's a tour, and so people are going to meet at one place, I believe at American Dam, and they're going to get to walk along the border in places that have limited access. So these are places where you can't just go every day, and as you're there, you're going to learn about border history in the places that.
And that's in the morning, 9 to noon on Sunday, October 28th.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, and then it will end up at Chamizal National Memorial. So
Wow, that sounds exciting. That's like a whole morning of going to the mountains and going to places where you don't normally get to. What else is going to be happening? Tell me on your list.
So in addition to Chamizal Cultural Festival, which is really what we wanted to let people know about for sure, the last weekend in October, we do want to let people know about some other projects going on at the memorial. One is an example of tax dollars at work. It's going to be a little bit tough at first, but eventually people are going to enjoy better parking at Chamizal
Oh
National
my
Memorial.
gosh! So you have some expansion there, because usually it's limited parking.
Sometimes for our big events, the parking area can fill really quickly. So the paved area is going to be repaved. It needs some repair. And then we're going to reuse that pavement. We're going to take that, and there's a way to reuse it in the lot that's a dirt parking lot right now.
Yes, I've parked there.
Yes.
I've
So,
ended up in the dirt parking
When
lot.
you're in your heels and trying to walk
Yeah.
across gravel, it's a
Great.
little tough.
So you're going to recycle that.
Yes, so the same pavement will be used to pave that dirt lot, and so we'll have a lot more parking that's available
that's
for our
well,
big events.
That's good news for all of us that frequent the Chamizal.
Yes, and that will be happening in January and February, about
Okay.
mid-January to the end of February, and it
So
will.
you're not going to have any events
Correct.
because of the parking.
Right,
situation.
because parking will be, people will have to park, outside of the park somewhere, so we won't be able to have events during those times.
Very good, and I think you've covered just about everything. Is there anything else? Let's give your number again, how they can get a hold of you. Is there anything we missed?
Just wanted to let people know that we do have also Every Kid in the Park program, and we just recently got a big grant, $15,000, to be able to pay school transportation for local school kids to come to the park. And so we'll be talking more about that, but we just want to let people know that there are a lot of things going on at Chamizal National Memorial. And then to find out about those, visit our website or give us a call, and that number was 915-532-7273.
Very good, and you all are doing a great job, and we want everybody to come to the Chamizal National
Absolutely.
Memorial. Whether you're going to go to the theater or out in the grounds, enjoy it, because it's there for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, and we'll be back with more guests. As promised, thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. And we're going to talk to a couple that have been married for many, many years. They're going to tell us how many years and maybe what's the secret of their long marriage and happy marriage. And with me, of course, is a very favorite, my very, very favorite person, very favorite couple, Tony Serrano and Aurora Serrano. Boris, of course, your nickname. I love your nickname, Boris. Tell me a little bit, and thank you for being here with us, taking the time. Tell me a little bit, Tony, about your anniversary coming up. How many years?
Well, it's unfortunately it's on 9/11.
Oh, really? On 9/11.
Yeah, we got married on 9/11 of '65, and prior to that we had going around for
Oh, but wait
5
a minute.
years.
That's Boris' thing.
Yeah.
Every time I ask Tony and Boris, how many years have you been married? And he says, oh, about 53 years. And then Boris always says, you come in and say what, Boris?
In 5 years. Dating. Yes.
And 5 more years of dating. So, what's the secret of your marriage? I know that you've been a musician all your life, and Bodhi's taking care of the family.
Well, I guess first of all, love. We when I first saw Boris in a dance, Peter Galindo was playing,
Oh my goodness!
and I saw her and I liked her very much, and ever since that day,
You started dating. That was, and adding those 5 years of dating, that's 58 years.
I used to play with the El Paso Drifters at that time, and I used to dedicate songs to Boris. But she thought that they were coming from Pochi.
From
Pochi
another guy.
yeah.
No, from another musician.
Don't say that name.
So
Yeah.
He's married.
Yeah.
no, he already passed away. Pochi.
Yes. So anyway, so that you had this passion of playing. You've been playing since you were young. At
Yes.
Bowie High School, you were a graduate of
Yes,
Bowie. And what instrument did you play? Of course, we have to mention it.
Well, I started playing the tuba. I like the trumpet, but they had so many trumpets that Mr. Copini, he decided to put me in the tuba. So I used to play tuba for a little while. I didn't like it, but
But you played in school at
Yeah.
Bowie. And then, of course, you joined the military,
Yes.
the Army, U.S. Army. And you were, I understand, on the Army U.S. Army band?
yes, I
You
was
played-
in the 4th Army Band. It was a headquarters band, and it was a big band.
Wow, beautiful.
It was 120 pieces, and I enjoyed it very much.
So it's over 60 years, maybe 65 years of music.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is a wife do when the husband is so passionate about the music, and you're passionate about some other stuff? You like to
Yes,
dance too.
Yes. That's why I let him do whatever he wanted with his music, because I know he was very happy with.
Yes, and
And
still
it
is.
makes me happy too.
It makes you happy that he's content and living his passion, and and to all of us that hear the music of the bands from the old days and the seniors, and you dedicated yourself to the family too.
Yes.
So how many children did you have?
I have 4,
4 children, and their names?
Annette and Tony Jr. and Aaron and Arlene.
Beautiful kids, and of course they're all grown up. They have families. I
Yes.
understand you have like how many grandchildren, Tony? I think
12.
12 grandchildren
12
and a couple of great
grandchildren,
grandchildren.
and 2 grandchildren.
It's wonderful.
And one on the way. One on the way.
Yes, and one
Right.
on the way. Oh my gosh, the family's still growing. And Bodhi gets to see all those babies.
Yes.
So taking care of the family was really important to you. Their education,
Yeah.
Yes.
promoting education and respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're such wonderful kids. And I hope they're going to be with us because we're going to be doing a tribute to Tony. Tony, you and I worked with the Rock and Roll Awards, the El Paso Music Legends Awards that we gave for
Yes.
5 years. You helped me as a musical director. How did you happen to choose those beautiful musicians, and we did it together? Tell me about your years of playing with these bands.
Well, I started with the El Paso Drifters, and at that time there was a lot of bands. There was the Night Rockers, the Gaylords, Little Mike, and Mike Rosas, and I tried to get all the musicians that were at that time, all the oldies one.
Yes.
And
older
we
musicians.
concentrated on all of those, and we managed to get a whole bunch of musicians.
About 60 we honored over
about
5 years.
60,
Yeah.
yes, and they
You know,
were,
they're still asking me for those music awards. They still
Yes.
want to get these musicians together to perform. I don't think it's going to
Yes.
stop, Tony. If you have the energy and the time, we
She
might do
will.
it
He
again.
does.
He does.
like
What he
to-
says, yes, let's do it.
I'd like to do one last one,
Yes.
if I can, and we'll do it.
What is the name of your band, Tony, and how many musicians do you have, and what kind of music do you all play?
Well, right now, there was a real good band that I used to like a lot, and they used to be the Kingsmen.
Oh,
The Kingsmen, and I wanted to do something like that, playing tropical music. And they had some real good singers. They had Joe Casares. He used to sing the ones in English, and then there was another guy who was named Paco, and he used to sing the Spanish numbers.
yes.
And I decided to do something like that, getting all those beautiful songs from the Sonora Santanera, and I guess I have most of the classic ones that
Beautiful.
they used to do.
And so the name of your band is The Classics.
The classics.
The Classic. Tony Serrano and The Classics.
And the Classics.
And you're going to be playing on, I've got to say this, Saturday, October the 20th at the VFW on Carolina. I think it's 6991 Carolina. And the VFW. We're going to be there from 5, it's going to be 5 hours, from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 5 hours, 5 bands. And so we're going to have the Little Mike and the Blue Kings. We're going to have Joe Padilla and the Border City Band.
Yes.
Of course, Tony Serrano and the Classics.
Yeah.
Grupo Religión with Juan Barraza. And then there's one other band,
Bobby and the
Bobby
Premiers.
Rosales and the Premiers.
And the
yes.
Premiers.
So we're all going to be there. We're going to pay tribute to you, Tony, for your wonderful years of playing music. I know you don't play the trumpet anymore because you had a little bit of health issues
Problems.
this past year, but look at you. You're still going, and that's what's important. You're directing your band, and they're going to hear some wonderful music.
Oh, yes.
And I must say that for the price of the ticket, $10, it's a wonderful.
Yeah.
They're getting excited, and the tickets are going bad. I do want to give our phone number as well,
Yes.
so that they can call. It's area code 915-329-1967, so that people can call for tickets
Yes.
to this wonderful event on Saturday, October 20th. And Tony, I want to just say that I respect you so much in Boris as a couple, but then also as a professional, as a musician, and how the musicians care about you, how much they respect you, and how you've worked with them with a lot of respect, a lot of professionalism, and I hear that all the time from them. Oh yes, we'll play for Tony because you've played with many bands.
Oh, yes.
And so I do want to say that, and we thank you for taking the time to come in and bringing Boris too. And happy anniversary!
Thank you, Mary.
Thank
I'll
you.
always remember your anniversary from now on.
Yes.
I have to go take you some flowers or something. Okay, thank you for being
Okay,
with us.
Mary, thank you.
And Tony Serrano, a wonderful musician for many, many years here in El Paso, and Aurora, his wife Boris. We'll be back. Well, before we leave our show today, we want to treat you with something very special. Judy Vasquez is our creative writing instructor that teaches in the Eastside Senior Citizen Center. And she's brought some of her students to do some readings of their original writings and some beautiful pieces. So we hope you enjoy some of these as we exit today. We'll see you all next week. But enjoy these wonderful senior students who are doing some creative writing works, and it's just a marvel to see them, how they read their writings. We'll see you next week.
The title of my story is The Gift. That's what they call me, The Gift. What a joke. I'm their penance. I sit here in this wheelchair of a prison, incarcerated for life without parole. You see, I can't walk or move at all now. I used to be able to operate the chair with my breath, but even that is gone now. I used to be able to communicate with the family. My eyes and the noises that I made told them what I needed. The frustration would happen when they couldn't guess what I needed or wanted. How could they know that inside this shell was a prison a person struggling as they were struggling, soundless crying out, silent shouting, screaming, endless screaming in the darkness for relief, but there is no relief. Just constant sadness for these people saddled with me, burdened by me, their lives shortened because of me. My mother and dad tend to me religiously. The daily feeding, washing, grooming is relegated to the constant chores that are created by my being are a strain on their marriage. The finances cause them extra work, removing them from the opportunity of a life. Sometimes at night I hear them silently weeping, thinking I am asleep and not wanting to show that my very being has put this family in jeopardy, my family, through tremendous agony. What they don't know and could not know is that I weep too. I weep for all that I take and can never repay. Their lives, the minutes, hours, days, months, years given up for me, donated to me, I pray for release. They are in turmoil, not knowing what to pray for, ashamed to pray for God to take me. They constantly chastise themselves for praying that I would just die. I will not get better. A month ago, I could hold my head and grunt my grunts. Not much, but it was something. I am progressively getting worse. Now it is getting hard for me to even breathe. They have had to learn how to intubate me. I hear their prayers and I too pray. I pray that I go, that I relieve them of this burden of a handicapped son. But my prayer is a selfish prayer. I want to be freed. I want my sentence to end. I want to be able to go. Where? Anywhere. Away from here, away from them. I want them to know peace and joy of life without me, the albatross tied around their necks. Sometimes in my dreams, I feel as though I am floating through a mist, not walking because I have never walked, but floating above. Then there are my sister and my brother. He tells jokes that are supposed to be funny but are not. He thinks I'm laughing. He cannot know that I have no clue what he's talking about. When he talks about some girl he likes and is making himself a fool over. And my sister, oh my sister, she helps keep me clean and is constantly talking. When they lay me on the vinyl-covered bed for my daily evacuation, I am shamed by my nakedness, by my incontinence, as she babbles incessantly. Sometimes, more often recently, I wish she would just shut up. They talk at me because a two-way conversation is impossible. I don't speak. I dribble. I drool. I smell. I smell of rot. A sewer of humanity decomposing right before their eyes. It caused a discussion with God. Why, Lord? I asked. Why? What crime was so great that my atonement must be so large that I am relegated to live a life of absolutely nothing but complete oppressive solitude? What was my crime? Or am I the penance for my family? These loving people who give so much to me, am I their punishment for the sins that they committed? Why, Lord, why? Then I hear from beyond, you are not the punishment, you are the educator. What? You are the educator sent to teach. That is your work, your life's mission. to teach. That is my work. Lord, I can't move. I can't make a sound. And you say I am the teacher? How can that be? My child, you look, but you do not see. You hear, but you do not listen. You speak without a voice. I give the greatest of life's challenges to those with the most courage. You are sent for them to fulfill their destiny. You are their gift. But what of me then? In you lies the most courage to be the gift.
There's always a new day. Children's story. This is the title of the grammar writing waiting for the nucleus. Mrs. Margie James had prepared for her first grade pupils, and she was anxious to explain to them the title, which they already had learned it by heart the day before. There's always a new day, the whole group exclaimed at the movement of Mrs. James on the blackboard. First thing we're going to do is to learn the ABC. I know you have already learned it before you started this semester, but we will have to study it again and again, so you will learn how to write. I am proud of you because you can write as an advanced student. Summertime was very helpful for all of you. So let's start writing today. The word we studied last week was easy. Learning the alphabet and trying to place the right grammar into the writing has helped your kids to start a new year by studying and learning, right or wrong. So let's start by listening short stories, and later when you write correctly, you will be able to write small sentences. It takes time, but that is fun. I would like for you all to take a break and walk outside in the playground and enjoy a walk around as you watch up the sky and the trees. After that, come inside and draw what you saw outside. You will love it. Take your time and enjoy your second day in school. Mrs. James smiled as she sat by her desk.